charms. As a matter of fact, I am quite attractive. I always impress the women. I simply can't help it. There's just something to me, if you know what I mean. Indeed, hundreds, I may say thousands of delightful young females, healthy and wealthy, witty and bold, young and beautiful, thousands of them have insisted on making my acquaintance. Some of the most intelligent even propose to me, but I turn them all down. Every one. When a young girl talks to me, I talk to her, and I am always kind to her. But when the crisis comes, my answer is always an emphatic no. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been giving these lectures throughout the civilized world. I've received thousands of letters from unhappy husbands expressing their fervent wish that they had heard me sooner. I've received hundreds of letters from engaged young couples who, upon hearing me, broke off their engagements to follow my example. I even received one letter from an indignant wife who threatened me with, but we needn't go into that. It had no bearing on our lecture tonight. The point is that my work is having results. Amazing results. But if I had saved only one soul from jumping into the heaving waters of matrimony, I should feel that my labors were not in vain. All right, I'm ready. Ladies and gentlemen, though not a married man myself, I've been the serious student of married life. I've studied thousands of case histories. Indeed, I may say that I am an expert on the subject. Now, you can hardly expect a married man to be honest about his situation, could you? Certainly not.
Yeah.
He wouldn't dare. But I, my friends, can view the whole problem of marriage dispassionately from the lofty mountaintops of bachelorhood. Now, the thing that always strikes me very forcibly is the contrast between the courtship days and between married life, between the before and the after of marriage. And in this case in point, allow me to introduce to you my friends Algernon and Henrietta.
How do you do? How do you do?
How do you do?
They're both charming young people. Turn around, my dears. Let them see you. Not bad, eh? I've chosen them because they are representative of their age and sex. Their experience is the experience typical of most unthinking young couples. And I regret to say that most young couples are unthinking. And now, with the assistance of Algernon and Henrietta, I've prepared a series of living lectures, taken from their own lives. No, they are more than lectures. They are significant slices, as it were, carved from the very body of their experience. Every word, every deed, and every action which you shall witness here tonight has been lived by them, and they will solemnly swear to the truth of my statement.
We swear.
And these living lectures will make perfectly clear to you why it is that I am a bachelor. Lights out, please.
Yeah.
Lights on? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Henrietta's home. It's a charming place, home to charming people. This is the front door,
Oh, yeah.
and these are the steps leading to the door. And this is the walk leading to the steps. It's a summer night, rather late. You can see the moon. Moon, please. Thank you. And you can hear a mockingbird calling its mate.
Aha! Aha! Aha!
Very pretty. As a matter of fact, this is one of those soft and balmy occasions which are so dangerous to the young. Algernon has just driven Henrietta home from a dance in a car that he borrowed from his father without his father's permission. He's walking her to the door now. Very tenderly, of course. You see, they're just engaged. They enter and speak for themselves.
Henrietta, I love you.
Oh, Algie,
We're getting married next month. Can you believe it?
next month. Isn't it too wonderful?
It's the most wonderful thing in the world. Gosh, I'm happy. Woohoo! Yeah!
Algie, don't pull
What's
out.
the matter?
Well, it's late. You're waking the whole neighborhood. They'll think we're drunk.
But I am drunk with love. Woohoo!
Do you really love me as much as all that?
Oh, much more, Henrietta. Little more.
And you'll always love me, always?
Henrietta?
Well, will you?
Well, of course, dearest. How could I help it?
And you'll never be unkind or quarrel with me or Mother or Aunt Emma or Ida May.
Never, never in the whole world.
Mother is a lamb, isn't she?
Well, actually, your mother's a perfect lamb, and Emma's a darling, and your sister's adorable. But you, oh, you're the prettiest, loveliest, and you're most adorable.
Just a moment, Algie. There's something I need to point out. Ladies and gentlemen, you understand, of course, that Algernon is not really lying. He believes every word he says. But it's the moon, the night, the innocence of youth that are putting such ideas into his head. He doesn't understand that never, and always mean a pretty long time, especially after one's married. All right, go on.
Oh, isn't it a wonderful night?
It's a night made just for love.
Oh, look at that gorgeous moon. Aha! 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 It's the mockingbird.
Speaking of love, Henrietta.
Oh, everything's so perfectly lovely.
Oh, that's because we're in love.
Oh, in love. Oh, what time is it, dear?
Oh, let's check. Oh, it's 10 after 10.
Oh, so late. I must leave you.
Oh, please don't go. What's the hurry?
Oh, I must. Don't be sad. Mother will be terribly worried. You see, I told her I'd return by 9:30. Good night, my dear. I've really enjoyed myself so very much.
Well, can't I come in for a while?
Oh, no.
Why not?
Well, Mother and Aunt Emma are guests. They wouldn't like it. Good night, my dear. Mother, my dear, sweet, future husband.
Oh, good night, my sweetheart.
That's enough. Lights out. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now move forward 2 years. Algernon and Henrietta are now married. They live in a small cottage outside of town. Algernon has a good job and goes to work, while Henrietta stays home and takes care of the house. Like this is Algernon's home. It's a charming home to a charming couple. This is the front door, and this is the walk leading to the door. It's a summer night again. Rather late. You can still see the moon. Ready for the moon? Ready for the moon? Thank you. And you can still hear that beautiful mockingbird calling its mate.
Aha! Aha! Aha!
Algernon has just driven Henrietta home from the theater, in his own car this time. You see, it is their 2-year anniversary, and they were celebrating. Henrietta wanted to invite her mother, Aunt Emma, and Ida May along for the celebration, but Algernon put his foot down. Algernon and Henrietta enter talking.
For goodness sake, stop nagging, will you? You've been keeping it up ever since we left the theater.
That's what you always say when you know you're in the wrong.
In the wrong? Was it my fault that idiot drove into us? Was it?
You were going much too fast.
Oh, that's right. Blame me. You always do.
I always try to be just, Algernon.
Yeah, you do like to. Dang, where's that confounded key?
Aha! 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 Aha!
I wish somebody would strangle that bird!
Algernon. Algernon,
What?
please, don't pick your teeth in the theater again. You don't know how it embarrasses me. Did you see the way that young woman was looking at you? That is so revolting.
For the love of Mike, can't a man do anything that gives him pleasure?
Well, not if it disgusts other people.
Other people disgust me.
How can you talk like that?
See here, Henriette, I'm getting sick and tired of it. I can't do a blame thing anymore without getting nagged at. First it's you, then it's Aunt Emma, then Ida May, then your mother.
Algernon, I forbid you to speak of Mother.
Why does she always have to interfere? Can you tell me that? The old cow.
Algernon!
Every time I open my mouth, she has to butt right in. Oh, for the life of me, she makes a scene. Ugh.
Stop. Just stop.
No, I won't. It's the truth, and you know it.
It is nothing of the kind. Mother, she never says a word except for your own good.
My own good? My own... Oh, that's rich. My own good. Oh, boy. Where's that blasted key? Oh, and I suppose that when And Emma and Ida Mae nag at me, that's only for my own good, too.
Of course.
Of course. Let me ask you this. Did I marry you, or did I marry your whole darn family? I'm just about fed up.
Algie.
What?
Algernon is forgetting so quickly.
Forgetting what?
It's our anniversary, dear. Just 2 years ago.
Seems like 20 to me.
Why aren't you ashamed of yourself? Haven't you any sentiment at all?
Well, what little I had been knocked right out of me.
By me, I suppose?
Well, I'm not blaming anybody, but you helped and your family did the rest. Oh, finally.
It's only 2 short years.
Oh, come on, don't commence
Don't you
again.
ever speak to me that way?
Philip, what did I say?
After all your promises.
I didn't say anything.
No, you never do. Oh, I'm so miserable.
Okay, I apologize. I don't know what I've done. I apologize. Come on, Henrietta. Let's go inside, shall we? Why should our neighbors hear all our squabbles? Okay, old girl, let's go.
What? What did you call me?
Crying out loud.
I will not stand for it. You are a big-hearted brute.
Well, now, wait a minute.
I'm going away, and you will never see me again.
Henrietta, please.
Don't you touch me. I hate you, Algernon. I'll hurt you.
Henrietta! Oh, nuts.
Lights out.
Lights out.
Ladies and gentlemen, I made no comment during that last bit of dialogue. It speaks for itself. We shall now go back again 2 years. I want you to get the contrast. Algernon and Henrietta are once again in the courtship stage. Lights, please. This is Henrietta's home. We've removed the fourth wall to reveal the breakfast nook. It's charming, isn't it? There's a table, chairs, flowers, plenty of food, and Algernon and Henrietta.
How do you do?
How do you do?
How do you do?
How do you do?
Algernon's mother has just invited his brother and sister out for some morning breakfast. And so Henrietta invited Algernon over to share breakfast with her. They're both very happy. Algernon is supposed to be eating, but he really doesn't swallow enough to feed a sparrow. You know how it is. Action, please.
Oh, Algie, do you really like my biscuits?
Oh, they're divine, but not as divine as you are.
But you've had just one, dear.
Oh, I'm feeding off the love in your eyes.
I'm afraid that isn't very substantial.
Well, I prefer it to any food on earth.
Of course, Algernon doesn't realize what he's saying. He's in a very peculiar condition. All right, Henrietta.
You dear boy. Isn't being in love just wonderful?
It's the most wonderful thing I know.
Just being in love, or just being in love with me?
Well, Henrietta, I couldn't imagine being in love without you.
Oh, do finish your coffee, dear. I'm afraid your coffee's getting cold.
Well, I don't want coffee. I only want you.
Don't be silly, dear. If you don't drink your coffee, I won't marry you.
Would you mind picking that up?
Algie, will you tell me something?
Oh, anything, my sweetheart.
Do you think that you will ever fall in love with some other woman after we're married?
Henrietta?
Well, that's no answer.
Henrietta, no other woman in the world will ever exist like you.
You do say the nicest thing.
Well, that's because I'm in love with you. My darling, my sweetheart, my lovely girl.
Oh, just a moment, Algie. Just a moment. Hold it. Don't move. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to notice the peculiar expression in Algernon's eyes. Turn a little this way, Algie. And this way. Perfect. Right there. Hold it. You'll notice the same expression in the eyes of people who aren't all there. That's what love does to people. It destroys their sense of reason and makes them rib about nothing at all, or very little, and gives them an altogether wrong perspective on things. Now, Henrietta is pretty. I'll be the first to admit that. But she isn't any prettier than millions of other girls out there. You can see that. I can see it. But to Algernon, this girl is the most beautiful, the most sublime, the most incredible thing that has ever existed. Crazy, isn't it? You heard him say himself that no other woman will ever exist but Henrietta. Well, that's all rot. Love has blinded him. Henrietta is affected with the same disease, though she doesn't have it half so badly as Algernon. For some reason, women tend to fare better in this respect than men. And that's that. Go on, please.
Oh, Algie, do you ever dream of the future
Oh, do I?
and of the days when we are married?
Oh, boy.
The poor fool.
And of all the wonderful times we'll have together?
I can think of nothing else.
Every morning, I will get up early and make you breakfast.
Oh, no, you won't. I won't let you.
Oh, yes, you will, yes, you will, dear, because it will make me very happy.
She really thinks it will.
And then we'll sit and coo all day long.
That's what you'd like to do, lazy boy. But you will have to go out and earn a living for your little family.
Oh, how happy I'll be to work for you and to buy you all those things.
You see, he has lost his mind.
Will that make you so happy, dear? Buying things for your little wife?
Oh, I say it will. You know what?
What, dear?
I'm going to buy you all the jewels and spices of Araby and lay them at your feet.
In truth, he doesn't even know where Araby is.
And why will you do all this for me?
Don't pretend. You know why?
You tell me, I'd love to hear.
Well, because
Yes?
I...
All right, lights out.
Like a...
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now go forward again 2 years. 2 interminable years. You know, it's strange how long a short span of time can seem. Algernon and Henrietta are once again married. I warned them myself, but they only laughed at me. They don't laugh now. Lights, please. This is Algernon's home. The breakfast nook, just as charming as the one we saw a moment ago in Henrietta's home. Algernon and Henrietta are sitting down to enjoy a nice breakfast. It's a beautiful day. Action, please. My actors, here's your audience. Action, please.
Why don't you say something? Algernon, I'm
Yeah.
speaking to you.
Yes,
Why don't you say something?
there's nothing to say.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I'm a bachelor. You see now, my friends, have I made it clear to you now that why I am a bachelor?
May I ask a question?
You certainly may. I always welcome questions or comments.
Don't you think that this has been slightly one-sided?
No, I feel you've seen both sides of the coin. When they were happy together and when they were married. Completely different sets of circumstances.
But I don't think I can make an objective decision based on the evidence you have presented.
Well, what more could you possibly want?
Well, I've just been sitting here, thinking of my mother and father's relationship. They've had their misunderstandings just like any other couple. But they've also had those tender moments too. And those tender moments are what kept my parents together for 27 years of marriage. I'm sure they've had a tender moment in their life together. I would like to see one.
I'm sorry, I just don't see how this would have any bearing on my lecture tonight. The fact still remains that the relationship changes after he says I do, and statistics will prove that each year there is a greater need for marriage counseling.
Perhaps there'd be no need for counseling at all if people would stop showing their worst side to their better half.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid we're out of time. If you have any further questions or comments, I'd be happy to answer them in the foyer.
I don't think you're being very fair. I want to see a tender moment. Wouldn't you like to see a tender moment?
I'm sorry, it's impossible. Completely impossible. There just isn't time.
I can stay a few more minutes. Can't you stay a few minutes?
We can.
I'm sorry, it's impossible. There's just no way. I'm afraid that there...
Don, it's okay. We can handle it.
Oh, honey, let's tell them what happened last night.
But...
It's okay, Don. It won't be too painful. Besides, I'll be right here beside you.
All right. I guess, what could it hurt?
Hello, Algernon.
Hello, Henrietta.
How was your day, dear?
Oh, it was okay. How was yours?
Just wonderful. Oh, Algie, I have something exciting to tell you.
Oh, Aunt Emma isn't coming to visit us.
No.
No? Your new washer arrived?
No.
You got the job at the mall?
No. Oh, Algie, just found out today that we're going to have a baby.
A baby? We're gonna have a baby? Oh, honey, that's wonderful. Oh, are you okay? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, how do you feel? Can I get you something?
Algie.
Here, a pillow. How about a chair? Here.
Algie.
Oh, please, have a seat.
Algie, I'm fine. Really, I am.
Oh, there must be something I can do for my dearest. What do you want? Anything.
Well, I am hungry.
Tell me what you want. I'll fix it. Anything you want.
Anything?
Anything.
Okay. All day long, I have been thinking about how good a pepperoni pizza would taste with licorice ice cream smothered over the top.
What? Okay, if that's what you want, I'll fix it. Oh, honey, I love you.
And I love you, Algie.
A baby. Oh, sweetheart, I'm so glad I married you.
I wasn't aware that there were moments such as this.
Well, because they usually happen in private.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our lecture for the evening. Would you like to have dinner with me tonight?
Well, thank you. I'd love to.
Then let's be on our way. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we'll have a brief intermission. Me and Aubrey have to go get some dinner tonight. So what we'll do is we'll take a 10-15 minute break. If you need to use the bathroom, they're right up here to my right. The first on the right is for the ladies and the second on the right is for the gentlemen. If you would like some snacks, refreshments of any kind, we ask again that you enter this curtain, go all the way around the back, and there's a small concession stand right over here that you can use. We'll see you in about 15 minutes. We eat fast. Thanks.
Sunlight, daffodils, and me. I am almost a whole day old now. I arrived yesterday. I think, for if there was a day before yesterday, I was not there when it happened, or I should remember it.
Monday. This new creature with the long hair is a good deal in the way. It's always following me about and getting in the way. I do not like it. Cloudy today. Wind in the east. I think we shall have rain. We? Where did I get that word? Oh, I remember now. The new creature uses it.
The moon slid down last night and slipped down and fell out of the scheme. The very great loss. It breaks my heart to think of it. For there was not another thing among all the ornaments and decorations that was comparable to it. It should have been fastened on better. We can only get it back, for I do love moons. They are so pretty and romantic, and I shall never get tired of lying on the moss bank looking up at them.
Tuesday. Examining the great waterfall. It is the finest thing on the estate, I think. The new creature calls it Niagara Falls. Why? I'm sure I do not know. says it looks like Niagara Falls. That's not a reason. It's mere waywardness and imbecility. I never get to name anything. The new creature names everything before I can get in a protest. And always the same pretext. It looks like the thing.
I followed the other experiment around yesterday afternoon, at a distance, to see what it might be for. But I cannot make it out. I think it is a man. I have never seen a man, but it looks like one. I realize I feel more curious about the other creature than I do about any of the other animals or reptiles. That is, if it is a reptile. And I think it is, for it has frowsy hair and blue eyes. And it looks like a reptile. Although, it could be architecture. Do you like stars? Stars! Do you like them? I do. Last night, I tried to knock some down with a pole, but it didn't reach, which would astonish me. Then, I tried claws till I was all tired out. But I could never get one. It is because I'm left-handed and cannot throw good.
The new creature cannot throw good.
I know. But man can. Would you call one of those stars for me? I want to put it in my hair.
Oh, go away and be quiet. You're always talking. You're leaking water out of your holes. Stop that. I'm going to climb a tree.
I thought I was afraid of the other creature, but now I know it's afraid of me, and I'm not timid anymore. I tracked it a while, but it was a good deal worried and climbed a tree. Well, today, same thing over. I've got it up the tree again.
Wednesday. Built me a shelter against the rain. But could not have it to myself for long. The new creature intruded. They must have given you a bad set of holes. They're leaking again.
They're tears.
Tears?
Same thing over. I've got it up the tree again. And it is there yet. Resting, apparently. I do wonder what it is for I have never seen it do anything. They returned the moon last night, and I am so happy. It slid down and fell off again, but there is no need to worry when one has that kind of neighbors. They will fetch it back. I do wish I could do something to show my appreciation. I would like to send them some stars, for we have more than we can use. I mean, I, not we, for I can see that the reptiles use nothing for such things.
Friday. The naming goes recklessly on, in spite of anything I can do. I had a very good name picked out for the estate. It was musical and pretty. The Garden of Eden. Privately, I still continue to call it that. But no longer publicly. The new creature intruded. She said that it looks all like rocks and trees and scenery and hills, and therefore has no resemblance to a garden, but looks like a park, and looks like nothing but a park. Therefore, without consulting me, it has been new named Niagara Falls Park. This seems sufficiently high-handed to me, and already there is a sign up. Keep off the grass. My life is not as happy as it was. Get away from that tree! They're forbidden! This new creature eats too much fruit. We were going to run out, most likely. Foggy today. I do not go out in the fog myself. The new creature does. It goes out in all weathers and stumps right in with its muddy feet, and then tramples it all over the house. It used to be so peaceful and quiet around here.
Well, if this reptile is a man, then it isn't an it, now is it? No, that would not be grammatical, would it? I think it would be he. Yes. In that case, one would conjugate it thus. Nominative, he, dative, him, and possessive, hisn! Well, I will consider it a man and call it that. Until it turns out to be something else. This will be so much handier than having so many uncertainties. Good morning, he. You may call me Eve.
Eve? All right, but you are superfluous.
What a lovely word. Where did you get it?
I made it up. I was looking at it, and I thought, superfluous.
I am she, not an it.
Okay, she is superfluous.
I'm a part of you. That's right. I was made, taken from a rib of your body.
Don't be ridiculous. I haven't been missing any bits.
I love to talk. I talk all day and in my sleep. And I am very interesting. Though, if I had another to talk to, I could be twice as interesting. Wednesday. We're getting along very well now. Indeed, getting better and better acquainted. He does not try to avoid me anymore, which is a good sign, and shows he likes to have me with him.
Oh, superfluous! Oh. She engages herself in many foolish things. Among others, trying to figure out why the animals like lions and tigers and bears feed on grass and flowers and trees, when, as she puts it, the kind of teeth they wear were intended for eating each other. Now this is ridiculous, because to eat each other would mean to kill each other, and to kill each other would introduce what I understand is called death into the garden. And as I understand it, death has not yet entered the garden, which is a pity on some accounts.
What's wrong? Have I done something to make you angry?
Oh, go stand in the rain and let your hose leak.
That was my first sorrow.
Sunday, pull through. Monday. I believe I see what the week is for. It is to give us time to rest from the weariness of Sunday. It seems a good idea to me. She's playing at that tree again.
But nobody was watching.
That seems hardly sufficient justification for chancing such a harmful venture.
Patient.
Eve, they're forbidden. You'll come to harm if you don't watch out.
But if I please you, it doesn't matter if I come to harm. What's that voice?
I've never seen it, though I've heard it before.
Well, tell me about it.
It is the Lord of the Garden. He told me to dress it, and to keep it, and to not use that apple tree you keep trying to eat from.
But why?
If we do, we shall surely die. Our deaths would be certain.
But why would he put it there and then ask us not to eat of its fruit?
It's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Good and evil?
Yes.
Well, what's that?
What's what?
Why, those things. What is good?
I don't know.
And what's evil?
I don't know.
Had a bit of what it is.
I've never seen the thing. How am I to form any conception of it? What is your...
I don't know.
You see?
But Adam, there are also those new words, like die and death. What do they mean?
I don't know. How should I know?
What do you think they mean?
My child! Can't you see it is impossible for me to even form a plausible guess about something, a matter which I am totally ignorant? A person cannot think if he has no material to think with. Isn't that true?
Yes, I know it. But how vexatious it is. Just because I can't know, all the more I want to. We stood a while, turning the puzzle over in our minds. Then, all at once, I saw how to figure it out. It surprised me that we had not thought of it before. It was so simple. Adam, how stupid we are. Let us eat of it, we shall then die, we shall know what it is, and we shall not have any more bother about it.
You're right. No, you're wrong. Father commanded us not to eat of that tree. I advise you to stay away from it.
Don't you tell me what to do.
Sunday, pull through. Tuesday, she is taken up with the snake now. And this is good for two reasons. The other animals are happy because she was always bothering and experimenting on them. And I am happy because the snake can talk. And this enables me to get a rest.
Adam, the snake advised me to try the fruit.
Eve!
He said that the result would be a great and fine education.
There will be another result. You'll introduce death into the garden. I advise you to stay away from that tree.
Don't you tell me what to do.
Friday. She has taken to beseeching me to stop going over the falls. Why? What harm can it do?
It makes me shudder.
But why? I've always done it. I've always liked to plunge in the coolness. It's the only thing I can see that the falls were for. They have no other purpose that I can see.
They were only made for scenery. Well, like the rhinoceros and the mastodon.
I went over in a barrel, not satisfactory to her. So I went over in a tub, still not satisfactory. So I swam in the whirlpools and the rapids, and I got much damaged. Hence, tedious complaints about my extravagance. I just don't understand why it is not so peaceful as it was a while back.
I tried to stop it, to make him stop going over the falls. That was because this new thing called fire had introduced to me a new passion. Fear. Oh, and it is horrible. I wish I never discovered it. It gives me dark moments. It makes me shiver and shudder. But he has not discovered fear yet. He cannot understand me.
Perhaps I ought to remember that she is very young, a mere girl, and make allowances. She is all interest, eagerness, and vivacity. She cannot speak for delight when she sees a new flower, but she must pet it, smell it, and caress it, and pour out endearing names upon it. And she is color mad. Gray rocks, brown sand, green foliage, the purple shadows of the mountains, the pearl of dawn, the star jewels glittering in the wastes of space. None of them has any real value that I can see, but because they have color and majesty, that's good enough for her. She would just quiet down and be quiet for 10 minutes. It would be a reposeful spectacle. In that case, I might even be able to enjoy looking at her. Indeed, I'm sure I could. I've come to realize that she is quite a remarkably comely creature. Lithe, slender, trim, shapely. And once, when she was sitting sun-drenched on a boulder, tilting her head back, and covering and shading her eyes from the sun as she watched a bird in its path of flight through the sky, I realized that she was beautiful.
He talks very little. Perhaps it is because he's not bright and insensitive about it. It wishes he could feel it. Oh, it is a pity you should feel so, for brightness is nothing. It is in the heart that values lie. Oh, I wish I could make him understand that a loving and kind heart is riches, and riches enough. That without it, intellect is poverty.
I finally escaped and rode a horse all night. About an hour after sunup, as I was riding through a flowery plain that was filled with grazing animals, all at once, the animals jumped up, and the plain was a sudden commotion, and every beast was destroying its neighbor. I knew what it meant. Eve had taken the fruit, and death had come into the garden. I found this place outside the park, and I was fairly comfortable for a few days, but she found me out. She has named the place Tonawanda.
Well, that's because
It looks like Tonawanda.
The truth is, I'm not sorry that she came. Pickings are scarce, and she brought some of the apples from that tree. When she came, she was all curtained in boughs and branches and fig leaves. And when I asked what she meant by such nonsense and snatched them away and threw them to the ground, she tittered and blushed. I had never seen anyone titter and blush before, and I thought it was unbecoming and idiotic.
you're saying nuts about yourself.
That's true. A little while after, we went to where the beast battle had been and gathered some skins.
And he made me piece together a couple of outfits proper for public occasions.
They're uncomfortable.
But stylish.
And that's the point about clothes.
Sorry. Well, I suppose we should have to get to work.
Work.
Yes. It's something we should have to do for the rest of our lives. It is ordered.
I find she is a good deal of a companion, that I should be lonesome and lost without her. She will be useful. I will let her do the work, and I will superintend.
Love, peace, comfort, measureless content. That was life in the garden. Pain there was none, nor infirmity, nor any physical sign to mark the flight of time. Disease, care, sorrow. One might fill these outside the pale, but not in Eden. There they had no place. There they never came. All days were alike, and all a dream of delight. A year passed. Adam went into the North Country, and it was born. What a surprise! I had no idea anything was going to happen. But it's just as Adam is always saying, it is the unexpected that happens. Some of its details were human, but there were not enough of them in us scientifically classifying it under that head. We must wait for development.
She is named it Cain. It has some of our features and resembles us in some ways, but the difference in size warrants that it is of a new and peculiar breed. Perhaps a fish, though when I put it in water it only sank. And she jumped in and snatched it out before there was a chance for the experiment to determine the matter. I still think it is a fish. I've never seen her carry on about any animal like this. She used to carry tiger cubs around before the incident, but she never took on about them like this when the dinner disagreed with them. Sometimes she'll stay up all night when it complains and wants to go back in the water. She'll soothe it and comfort it and give it everything she told me previously that she wouldn't.
I care so much for it.
More than she does for any of the other animals.
I can't explain why.
I simply do not understand it.
Sunday we do not work. Sunday we rest.
She's right there. I've come to like Sundays myself. In the olden days they were difficult, but now they come in handy.
Adam, look! It's laughing! Now, Adam, have you ever seen a fish that could laugh?
It may well be that it is not a fish, though I can't get a chance to determine whether or not it can swim. If it's not a fish, then it's an enigma.
That's a nice word.
Yes, an enigma or a bug. If it dies, I shall take it apart to see what its arrangements are.
Over my dead body!
3 months later, the perplexity augments instead of diminishes. It has gotten to moving about now on its 4 legs, yet it differs from other 4-legged animals in that its hind legs are unusually longer than its front legs. And this causes the back part of its anatomy to become uncomfortably high in the air, and this is not pretty. No. It looks a lot like us, but its method of travel indicates that it is not of our same breed. Wait a minute. Long hind legs and short front ones indicate that it's of the kangaroo family. Oh, it must have been very young when it came, for it has grown exceedingly since. It must be 5 times as big now as it was originally. And it can make from 20 to 38 times the noise it originally did, mostly at night. For this reason, I have discontinued the system. I have searched high and low to find another one for this one to play with, but I have not been able to find it anywhere, nor any vestige of any. And strangest of all, no tracks. Let's let this one go.
No! You cruel brute!
She's probably right. Letting it go might make it more lonely than ever, since we cannot find another one for it to play with. Four months later. It's not a kangaroo. No. It holds onto its finger and thus balances itself while walking a few steps on its hind legs. And then falls to the ground. Perhaps it is a bear, though it has no tail as yet, and it continues to grow, which is strange because bears get their growth much sooner than this. Bears are dangerous since the catastrophe, and I shall not be satisfied to have this one walking around much longer without a muzzle on. If you let this one go, I'll get you a kangaroo.
No!
She was not like this before she lost her mind. Fortnight later. It has gotten to the point where it walks around on its hind legs by itself now, paddles around, and it can say Mama and Papa, much like the parrot. Still cannot find another one, and we have searched very hard. I shall search the woods around here to see if I can find another one. 4 months later. I've searched everywhere and cannot find another one. Meanwhile, the old one has taken to paddling around by itself. Walks around continually and makes tons of noise, mostly during the night. I do not understand this, so I have moved out. I shall still go back mornings for breakfast and to see if it has gotten any more teeth, because it only has one now. But if it should get a mouthful, it shall be time for it to go, for a bear does not need a tail to be dangerous. I've gone on a far expedition in the north to search out to see if I could find another one, for I figured that this one would be easier to tame. It had another one of its own species to play with and to create camaraderie. It has been a weary, weary journey. And yet, while I have had no success, without even removing from the whole mistake, she has caught another one. I've never seen such luck. I could have hunted for years, lifetimes, millenniums, and I never would have come across that thing. I've been comparing the old one with the new one, and it's perfectly clear that they are of the same breed. The old one goes around by itself on its hind legs now, and can talk and laugh, just as us. A lot like the parrot, too. This obviously comes from its hanging around with the parrot so much, and having the imitative faculty in a highly developed degree. The old one, or the new one, is just as ugly as the old one was at first. Oh, it's got the same raw meat, sulfur complexion, and the round, bulbous head, with no hair protruding from it. Man, they're ugly. She has named it Abel.
I think we were a year and a half, 2 years old when Cain was born, and 3, maybe 3 and a half when Abel was added. By this time, Adam was getting to understand. Gradually, his experiments grew less and less troublesome. Finally, within the year of the birth of Gladys and Edwina, they ceased altogether. And he has come to love the children fondly after he brought them scientifically classified. And from that time till now, listen.
10 years later, they're boys. We came to realize it some time ago. Because they're coming in that small, immature, incredibly ugly package that boggled us at first. There are some girls now, too.
Cain, Abel, keep out of my garden! When I look back, the garden is a dream to me. Oh, it's beautiful, surpassingly beautiful, enchantingly beautiful. But it is lost, and I shall not see it anymore. True, the garden is lost, but I have found him, and I am content. He loves me as best he can. Oh, but I love him with all the strength of my passionate nature. And this, I think, is proper to my youth and sex. The boys are nearly as big as I am now.
Now, Abel, he is a good boy. But if Cain had stayed a bear, it would have improved him greatly. I never know what to expect from that boy, from one moment to the next.
Some time ago, my boys were fighting. Cain hid Abel and hid from the Lord. Now Cain is gone. And Abel is dead. And there's too much stillness in the house.
Eve, are you all right?
Oh, Adam, prayer, my longing that we shall pass from this life together. A longing which shall never perish from the earth.
Don't speak of death, Eve. We've had enough sorrow.
But if one of us must go first, it is my prayer that it shall be I. You are strong. I am weak. I am not so necessary to you as you are to me. Life without you would not be life. How could I endure it?
What do you get when you mix an elephant with peanut butter?
Oh, Adam. That one's always been one of my favorites. Elephants that get stuck to the roof of your mouth.
That's strange, I had forgotten.
If I ask myself why I love him, I find I do not know. I do not really much care to know. I suppose this kind of love is not a product of statistics and reasoning, like others' love for reptiles and animals. I think this is so, for I love certain birds because of their song. But I do not love Adam on account of his singing. No, that is not it. The more he sings, the more I do not reckon myself to it. Yet I ask him to sing, because I wish to learn to love everything he is interested in. Oh, and I'm sure I could, because at first I could not stand it. But now I can. It sours the milk, but it doesn't matter. I can get used to that kind of milk. It's not on account of his gracious or considerate ways, or his delicacy that I love him. He lacks in these regards, but he is well enough just so. Not on account of his industry that I love him, then why is it that I love him? Merely because he is masculine, I think. Oh, at the bottom, he is good, and I love him for that. He is strong and handsome, and I am proud of him, and I admire him. But I could love him without these qualities. If he were plain, I should love him. If he were weak, I should love him. And I shall work for him and slave over him and pray for him. And I shall watch by his bedside until the day that I die. Yes, I think I love him merely because he is masculine and he is mine. There's no other reason for it. But I am only a girl, and I'm the first that has examined this matter. And it could be that in my ignorance and inexperience, I have not got it right.
You died today. I knew she would, of course. At least her wish was answered. She went first. Since she has been gone, I've come to realize something that I didn't realize before about Eve. At first, I thought she talked too much. But I've come to realize that I was mistaken about Eve. For it is better to live outside the garden with her than to live inside it without her. I shall be sorry to have that voice fall silent and pass out of my life. Blessed be the experience that has brought us together. It's taught me to know the goodness of her heart and the sweetness of her spirit. For wheresoever she goes, there is Eden.